Hi, so today I have somebody really special joining me. He is a celebrity makeup artist who's worked on so many leading ladies of the Hindi film industry, from Janhvi Kapoor to Bhumi, Disha Patni, Kiara Advani, Shobita Dulipala. The list goes on and on and on. He is a true magician when it comes to beauty, makeup and all things glam. He is a true artist and somebody I am so fortunate to call my friend. Come on in, Sonic! Yay!
Hello.
How are you?
I'm so glad we're doing this.
Thank you for doing this. So Sonic, what are we doing today?
So today we are going to do a Bollywood diva inspired makeup, and guess who it is? Rekha. I think her looks are iconic and she has this very specific style that has, it's just timeless. It's classic, it's timeless, and it's really, really inspiring because you can just do it anytime and it just looks great.
Exactly. I'm excited. Chale?
Me too.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just start the makeup, and I'm going to start with the skin prep and just spray some Fix Plus on you. Go.
Okay, how important do you think skin prep is for makeup?
The thing is when you're doing makeup, the prep is the most essential part because if your skin is in a good condition, your makeup will also look good. So make sure you moisturize the skin according to your skin type and prep the skin so that the makeup blends easily, it just works well and it lasts also longer.
Do you remember when we met for the first time?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I thought you'll be like, yaad nahi, bahut saal ho gaye. So I think it was back in 2017 and it was one of the first to follow, like one of the first MAC events that I did. It was you and Mickey. And I think that time we were not friends. We were friendly, but not friends. And you had created this red lip moment. And that was like my sexy moment. I think my sexy era started from there. No, really. And okay, what was your first impression of me? Was I your favorite model?
Well, clearly, we saw a lot of models and I chose you.
So I had to be special.
Yeah.
And I think we became friends during Fashion Week in Delhi when we created every look for all the shows that were happening.
Yeah.
I think 10-15 shows.
Yeah.
And at the time I had not really decided to become an actor, and I was asking Sonic for some advice because he's been on film sets, he knows how acting works and he's known so many actors. And he gave me the best advice possible, and as luck has it, last year during a shoot of a film, we met on a film set and it was the exact same thing what he told me. And he said this 4 years ago, guys. And again, on the film set, I'm like, Sonic, I want to start content creation, yaar. Do you have any tips? And what do you know? That moment it starts raining. He's like, record it. Record karo. So I don't know if it's a full circle moment or if it's a ladder moment. I don't know what it is, but for every important thing, you've been there.
See?
So I have learned so many things from you over the years and sitting on the chair. So many tips. I have one tip which I want to tell, but before I tell my tip, do you have anything, like about makeup which is your ick or a pet peeve of yours in makeup?
The thing is the first thing that I really look at is the face, how much makeup you need. What's the skin type and how much moisturizer you need and how much makeup you need is what I look at. I think that's very, very important, that what do you want to achieve and how much makeup you want to use on the face, that you have to decide before you start doing it.
Exactly. Sometimes when somebody like Sonic does my makeup, I love it, right? Sometimes when I'm doing my makeup, in 5 minutes I love it. But if I give myself an hour, I'll hate it. Okay, so my tip was, so he taught me a concealer concealer tip, which I don't think he was teaching, but he did it and I just picked it up, okay? So at the time, I had lost a lot of weight. and my face was like fully snatched, like that snatched face. And and that's a good thing for a model, it's not a bad thing. But what happens with that is your eyes become dhasawa, you know, those hollow eyes, right? So now you want to brighten up your eyes. So obviously what you do is you apply your concealer, and everybody does inner corners, but he did one thing. He brought the concealer up till, what is this called, Sonik, this part?
Yeah, inner corner of the eye.
But a little higher you got it. Everybody gets it till here, but you got it till here.
Yeah.
And that just popped out my eye like a bulb. I was lit like a bulb, and I use that trick even now. So yeah, thanks.
That's great if you remember the trick.
Anyway. So Sonic, since I'm a painter and you're a makeup artist, what do you think, how much does color theory apply to makeup artistry?
Well, I think it's like you have to understand color, because at the end of the day, you are working with colors, whether it's the color in the face or skin, or like, you know, the color of makeup that you're going to use, depending on, you know, what somebody is wearing and all that. So you really need to understand the color theory and, you know, how colors work together, or like how they enhance each other or cancel each other. Everything has to be very clear to you as a makeup artist or as an artist, because that's what makes your picture look good.
Yeah, and you know, Indian skins ke liye, we love pink. I don't know, there's something about I love pink too, aisa kuch nahi hai. But other than pink, because everybody answers pink, what do you think is a really good color for Indian skins?
You know, in pink also there are different undertones in pink. You know, some people need like a bit of a darker pink or lighter pink and everything. Apart from that, you know, if you go with something a little bit more coral, and when I say coral, it has to be, you know, something with a little bit brown in it, and you know, peachy colors also work really, really well for Indian skin tones.
Okay, cool.
I'm just going to quickly contour the face a little bit and then get into the eye.
Yeah. अच्छा, तो सोनिक, we all know कि prevention is better than cure, right? लेकिन कभी कभी गलती हो जाती है.
Oh yes, of
right?
course.
Sometimes we apply too much blush, maybe liner इधर उधर, shadow इधर उधर. What are your top correcting tips for makeup? What can one do?
You know, if you are a person who gets a lot of fallout from the shadows, I would say just do your eye makeup and then do your base. You know, it's just easy because you can clean it up and then you can start with your base.
Right.
And otherwise, you can also keep a tissue under your eyes when you're doing something which you know that it really falls out a lot.
Like glitter.
Like glitter especially, you know. And then you can just brush it out. You know, just put like a little bit extra powder under the eyes and brush out the fallout, or you can just keep a tissue under your eyes, like you can just like fold it.
Right.
And you know, if you're putting glitter or something, you can just like keep it under the eyes like that,
Yeah.
and then put it. And yeah, that's the way. Otherwise, you can always just like brush it out. But when you're brushing it out, what happens is most of the time people go and like they go like, you know, like they're just like pushing it out. You don't have to. You
Yeah.
have to lightly take some extra powder on
Okay.
your brush like that,
Huh.
and then just lightly go like that, and then just lift it and just. It should
Oh,
just
that
fly
is
away
almost like
that.
a feather touch, guys.
Yeah.
I can't even feel what you're
Previously,
doing.
like, you know, I put like a lot of powder, so
Huh.
it just like helps to pick it up, and then you just remove it. If there's extra powder later on, you can just buff it out.
Awesome, yeah, great, yeah.
Okay, so I'll continue with my eye makeup. So in this look, I think the eye makeup is really, really important. There's like a really strong gold eyeshadow that goes onto the lid, and eyes are defined with kajal on top and bottom. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just like lining the eyes with a kohl pencil, and I'm going to smudge it and make it a little bit softer and define the eyes with this. Okay.
Has anybody slept while you've done their makeup?
Well,
on the chair?
I have.
I also.
I have done that, like, when people have slept in the chair, and I've asked someone to stand behind them just to hold their head.
Yeah.
And done the makeup, because also, and this happens especially during fashion week when
Yeah.
everybody's tired because there are fittings happening, then there are shows happening, you're working back to back and you get tired,
Yeah.
So
And
I
even
thought-
a 20-minute nap just does
yeah,
it.
like especially when they like some very extensive eye makeup or something, I always tell my models, oh, you can
So
just
jao.
doze off for
Yeah.
some time. Let me finish the eyes and then we can go from there. Okay. Now that I've done the black pencil smudge, I'm going to go into like a reddish brown eyeshadow. You can use any shadow which is brown with a bit of a red, just to set the black that we have smudged, and it will just make it look softer also. So I'm just going back and forth and doing it. Now, as you said earlier, like, if you want to clean up something, keep a Q-tip handy. And let's say when you see the shape of the eye, like if something goes a little bit up or down, you can always just softly clean it. Now when I say clean it, it has to be super soft. It can't be like rubbing it too hard, because the more you rub it hard, it just becomes stronger, the line. Yeah, so you just have to softly clean it so that it becomes clean.
Yeah. And it's like maybe you blended it out.
Yeah. Just like that. So I'm just taking that brown shadow and lightly going over the eye and into the crease. Now it just looks like a soft smoky right now, and that's exactly what we want as a base. Just blend it. Just remember that blending is very, very important, and also your strokes have to be really, really soft. If you go very hard like that, it will just create more lines. So you have to be feather light to blend everything. Okay. So there we have blending. Now,
Blend. Rule number 1.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing underneath also. Just look up, just a pencil a little bit under the lash line like that, and go with your brush and blend it. Taking the brown and smudging it further.
Growing up, who was like your beauty icon, or somebody who really inspired you?
The thing is, like, when I was growing up, it was all the Bollywood actresses, and somehow, like, I used to sketch, so I can relate to the paintings.
Right.
had different posters in my room, and I would just like paint some different lip colors with sketch pens or something on the posters. So it was just like, I used to just like do that in the magazine also. Somebody has some makeup, so I'll just like draw something on top of that.
You were an artist pehle. Dekho, that's, I read this quote or something somewhere. If you feel a little lost in life, think about what brought you happiness when you were around 7 to 10 years of age. And if you can turn that into a career, you're blessed. So, I guess.
Well, that's something that I always tell everybody, that every day of life, if you feel happy going to work, that is what you should be doing. If you don't feel happy, if you feel that this is not something that you can do for the rest of your life, then maybe you should be looking at something else. Because it's always like, if you love something, just do that and everything else follows. Just a thin line on the bottom just to join the ends and make it a little bit more intense. Okay. Once we have done that, I'm going to go into a gold eyeshadow onto the lid. I'm just using some gold eyeshadow right in the center of the lid. Now you see, like sometimes there will be a fallout here, and we'll just lift it and clean the other eyes.
Yeah. Everything can be corrected. You should never stress, right?
Yeah, especially when you're putting something quite metallic and like a little bit more, bigger particles. It always falls, but then you can correct it completely. I'll show you how in a minute. Also, I like to layer my colors, just like painting.
Yeah. Just to give it more definition,
Yeah.
depth.
Because when you use one color, you don't really get definition, so you just want to use one or two shades just to
Yeah.
give it more definition. Okay, now that I have done that, I'll just take a little bit extra powder.
Wow, I just saw
and
myself.
Little bit, very lightly, I'm going to just brush it out. And if it doesn't come off completely, you can also use a clear sellotape and lift the particles so that it just gets cleaned up.
Makes sense, yeah. Who is she? कौन है ये?
Now, one of the most important trick in this makeup look is to put white or a off-white pencil inside the eyes, which really opens up the eye.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that right onto the waterline. I'm using an off-white pencil, so it looks a little bit less dramatic, but you can go with white or off-white, which is a very important step in this look. Okay?
Yeah.
It really opens up, makes the eyes look super dramatic. And as I can see, there are like still few particles I can see on the cheeks. I will clean that up. You okay? It's sticking, right?
Yeah. I'm fine.
You can just stop for a minute and you can just reapply this second time. If you want the color to be quite intense, do it like twice so that it just becomes quite visible. Now, to finish this, I'm going to use mascara. So I'm going to put like lots of mascara to open up the eyes. Now again, if the mascara smudges or touches anywhere, the best way to remove it is to let it dry and then just flake it out. If you just try to do it when it's wet, it can really mess up everything and make everything black. So just wait for it to really dry up and then just mascara flake out.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, the lashes are amazing.
मैं सिर्फ compliments के लिए जिंदा हूँ. I love it.
I put like lots of mascara, so don't be shy with mascara. Just go with it and use a lot of mascara.
Acha, so when you're doing mascara,
Yeah.
and are you layering it or in one go only you're applying
No,
lots
I
of
just
it?
layer it usually. So when I'm doing mascara, I do one coat and I go to another eye, and then I come back and do next coat on the second eye.
Acha.
So that way you get like 2 layers of mascara, and you can keep doing it till you
Happy
really
with
like
it.
and happy with it. I think that looks quite nice, and it almost makes it look like fake lash.
Yeah.
And now the next step, which is also very very important, is the lower lash in this. So just look up. I'm going to do lots of mascara on the lower lash. So you can just do it like this, so you get like lots of mascara onto the lower lash. Just making sure you get enough on the lower lash. And then I'm going to brush it out like that. You really want your lashes to look very very pointy, and you want it to look very thick. So you put a lot of mascara going like that, and then you can just join few lashes together, so it just makes it look more thicker and more visible.
Oh, with the tweezer.
Yes,
Oh,
you can do it with
yeah.
the tweezer. You can just like, if you're good at it, look, you can just use it with the bond also, and few lashes will get together, and then you can just see the lashes more.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just like putting a lot of mascara onto the edges, especially because when you do the brush like this, you get the ends. So you see the lashes a little bit more, and here we go. That just really makes the eyes look nice and big. And now I'm just going to quickly finish the brows. Like since you have like really nice full brows, I don't really need to do much.
Aww, see that's why we are friends. मेरे को इतने compliments मिले ना, मैं एक महीने के लिए I'm happy.
So I'm gonna just like brush it and very very lightly fill it in because we have intense eye makeup, but I don't really want to make it too dark. But yes, if you have brows where you need more filling, you can do more filling. But here, I'm going very lightly just to fill in few gaps and define the brows a little bit more. Just very lightly. Also remember that you have to keep the brows looking really brushed up, especially in the beginning, so that it really makes the look complete.
Right, yeah. I mean, no look is ever complete without brows,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. You have to do the brows, and it's also sometimes I like to do very strong brows when there is hardly any eye makeup and you're doing a strong lip color, so you can go really strong on your brows. But with something like this, I'm keeping it really really natural and just brushed up. Okay, now is the final step of this look, and which is the most important step. It's the lip color. This really bright red lip color, which is super defined, needs like 2 colors, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to just line the lips, and as you can see, I'm just going with a slightly deeper red to line the lips, and I will shade it from the sides. Like really make sure that you blend the line inwards and it doesn't remain like a strong dark line. Define the lip from outside super dark, going back and forth so that you get like intense color. Just making sure the lip line is super crisp and clean. So one of the trick that I use while doing eyeliner or lips is that I keep quiet, because it just helps you to hold your breath for a second and it just gives you more steady lines. Now also make sure that you define the lips nicely before you go with your lipstick. If there is any kind of correction or you want to just clean up, just do that before you go with the lipstick. Take your time with the lip pencil and shape the lips whatever shape you want to create. Once I've done that, I'll just go a little bit inwards and blend the lip pencil and shade it. This also helps to make sure that the lip liner doesn't really stand out after you apply the lipstick, and the lipstick will also stay on better when you lightly blend the lip pencil all over. Okay. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to go with a deep red lipstick, which is also called Diva.
Ooh, the OG Diva, and we use Diva. Wow.
So I'm going to use this lipstick, starting from the edge, and fill the lips, keeping it a little bit lighter into the center. Use more product onto the sides, a bit like ombre lips. You can see it just gives a nice deep red. Same thing on the top. Once I've done that, now finally I'm going to go with my favorite lipstick right into the center.
What's your favorite lipstick?
Ruby Woo.
Oh yeah, Ruby Woo was my first purchase. First MAC purchase ever.
I'm going to just put it right into the center to give it that real red pop. And this lipstick is super matte and a bright red, which gives the color really a velvet finish. Don't be shy with the lipstick, just nicely layer it up, because if you're wearing a red lipstick, you want to make sure that it lasts you all evening. It's a matte color, so it will stay, and also it just looks nicer when you have like a nice coat of a lipstick on top like that. Okay, so that's the perfect, nice red lip that completes the look. It's such a classic look. It's timeless. You can never go wrong with this. It's a color you can wear anytime and it will look always in fashion.
I know, right?
So that's our final look. A beautiful bold lip with softly defined eyes with touch of gold on the eyes.
And gold is everywhere. It's in my sari. I'm wearing gold jewelry.
And gold is auspicious.
Yes, it is. And sari is as timeless as anything really. So you can wear this to your weddings, engagements, parties, Diwali, whatever you want. Is there anything we should mention here? How much you love me, how much I am your favorite model.